Hi guys, and welcome to Carflix. Today I'm going to show you how to flush and change your coolant on a 2010 Peugeot RCZ Hdi. So without further ado, let's crack on with that video. So the things you're going to need is you're going to need approximately 10 litres of deionized water. You're going to need some cooling system cleaner, and you're going to need some antifreeze. Now it's a little bit controversial on the RCZ Hdi because out of the factory they come like this green antifreeze. What I've done is I've gone for an all make one which covers every car and it's got a 10-year guarantee on it. The other thing you're going to need for draining is you can buy yourself one of these turkey trays. They're only a couple of quid from Morrison, and then you're going to need a big funnel to put into the coolant tank. So once the car is safely jacked up, we're now going to remove the world's biggest under tray. They use 10mm bolts, so I'm just going to unscrew all these and I'll tell you how many there are. They go all the way to the back, there's some in the middle as well. The under tray is off, and the answer to your question is there are 8 bolts. There they are, and they fit 1, 2, 3 and 4 on that side, and the same again on the other side. So the RCZ doesn't have a bolt in the radiator you can use to drain. So as in the manual, the only way to do it is to undo the bottom hose clip here, undo it and put it into the tray. Make it flow quicker, just undo the coolant cap. The easiest way to get to the bottom hose clamp is to put a long screwdriver down the back of the radiator and then just slot it in there and then start to turn it anti-clockwise. Once you've got it loose, what you're going to do now is just undo it by hand until it pops off the bottom of the hose. Just like that. And if you look at that stuff as well, it is actually green. So if you want to go for the original stuff, then try and get your green stuff. If not, it's perfectly more than acceptable to get a universal one like I've gone for. Now, if your coolant tank looks like mine, which is pretty dirty, I'm going to remove this because I want this super clean like it was out of the factory. But you first move the screen wash out of the way, and then it will reveal just there a 10mm bolt, which you just undo. I've already undone this, and then after that you squeeze these pipes down one by one, and then the whole thing should remove. So there you go, expansion tank is now removed. This was really easy. This sits at the bottom of the tank. You just press this top section in here and then pull, give it a really good tug, and as you can see inside it is really dirty, so I'm going to go and clean this inside the house. Right, so to clean it, what you want is one of these. It's like a wire brush on a wire, as it were, and you just push it in there, and we're going to give it a really good clean and see what it comes out like.
2 hours later.
Right, so this is what the water bottle looks like after I've cleaned it. I did have to use some detergent in the end just to get it out, but as long as you get all the soap out of it, it should be fine. But yeah, it's come up really well. It took me about half an hour, but if I'll be honest with you, if these are quite cheap, I'll probably just buy a new one. I save you the hassle. Right, so now that coolant's been drained, what we're going to do is put the pipe back on, and then we're going to fill it with distilled water. Right, the bottom hose is back on, so now we're going to fill it with distilled water. I'm going to use this cleaner as well. So what we're going to do is fill this of distilled water, dump the whole contents of this in, and then fill. And then it says on this we need to run it at fast idle for 10 minutes until it's up to temperature with the heaters going, and then we'll drain it again, and that should have hopefully cleaned it all out. The heaters are on full, and now we're going to rev it for 10 minutes. must admit this does feel a little bit wrong, but the heat is coming out, which means there's no air bubbles. Temperature is going up, as you can see. Right, so it's been 10 minutes. I've got it near enough where I want it, so I'm now going to go and drain everything. Now before you drain it out, don't forget to let it cool down. You can do this by looking at the temperature gauge in your car. Right, so now we're going to undo the cap and we're going to drain everything out again. And hopefully should bring all the horrible sludge out of the system. And there you go. That's the next lot drained. You can see it's really green and nasty. So this is the second time I've drained it. I only revved it for about a minute, but it's still like a blue tinge to it, or a greeny tinge, so I'll probably do it again. That's drain number 3, almost clear, probably just one more, and then I'll fill it with the new antifreeze. Right, so the clamp is back on, all tightened up, and that is my final flush. As you can see, it's clear. So now we're going to top up with the antifreeze. Before I put the antifreeze in, I'm going to go and stick the under tray back on. Right, I'm now going to add the coolant. As this is going in, it's a super bright green colour, which is awesome. Right, now that's in, I'm going to do the same as I did before, which is run the car up to temperature, and then we'll check for leaks and keep topping up where we need to. Right, so this is it. Bright yellow, looking awesome. I think I got all the air bubbles out of it. So I took it for one last test drive. It had dropped below minimum, so I've just topped it up. But a top tip for you, to get the air out of the system, go for a 10-minute test drive and take it round the roundabout a few times, because it knocks all the air out when you go around.
Woohoo! A great success!
Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.